Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. First of all, thank you for being here and supporting this journey. This is officially our fourth video in the series The Road to Financial Freedom. And in today's lesson, we're gonna talk about, as you see, Lesson 1, Part 3, the money mindset, consumer versus owner. This is one of the most important parts of the entire course because before changing your money, you must change your mindset first. In this lesson, we will cover three powerful topics. 3.1. This is scarcity versus abundance. The money is evil myth. We will talk about the money is evil myth. 3.2 is delayed gratification, the Marshmallow Test. And 3.3, asset first living, the secret of wealthy. Guys, we will talk about how your beliefs about money control your future. We will talk about why successful people think differently, and we will also talk about how wealthy people buy assets before luxury. But before we start, click on the video title above, and if you haven't watched the previous lessons yet, please start from the first video and continue in order, because every lesson in this course builds on the previous one step by step. Now get your notebook ready, and let's begin Lesson 1, Part 3. Welcome back, everyone. We've talked about math, we've talked about coffee, and we've talked about marketing in our previous lesson. But today we're gonna talk about something deeper. We're gonna talk about the software in your brain. Imagine you have the best computer in the world, but the software is broken. Will it work? Your mindset is your financial software, guys. If you think money is bad, or if you think money is evil, your brain will subconsciously try to lose money. You will spend it fast because you don't want to be a bad person. And today we are going to fix that software. We are going to break the biggest myth in history. Money is the root of all evil myth. So, scarcity versus abundance mindset. There are two ways to look at the world. The first one is the scarcity mindset, and the second one is the abundance mindset. People with scarcity mindset think the world is a small pie. If someone has a big piece, it means that I have a small piece. They feel jealous. They think money is limited. If I get rich, someone else must get poor. This mindset creates fear and stress. But people with the second mindset, the abundance mindset, think the world is a growing garden. If I plant more trees, there are more fruits for everyone. They think money is a result of creating value. If I help 1,000 people, I will get rich, and those 1,000 people will have a better life. The truth is, money is not a zero-sum game. When Steve Jobs created iPhone, yes, he became a billionaire, but he also created millions of jobs and changed the world. He didn't steal money, he just created value. In this part, we will speak about how to break the money is evil myth. Have you heard people say rich people are greedy or money changes people? Let me tell you the truth. Money is not evil. It is a magnifier. Look at this word, magnifier. If you are a bad person and you get money, you become a bigger bad person. You can do more damage. But if you are kind, if you are generous, and if you are a good person and you get more money, get a lot of money, you become a bigger good person. Money is just a tool, like a hammer. A hammer is not evil. You can use a hammer to build a house for a poor family, or you can use it to break a window. Is the hammer evil? No. The person holding it chooses. When you say money is evil, you are telling your brain to stay poor. But if you are a good person, the world needs you to be wealthy. Why is that? Because good people with money can change the world in a good way. In this slide, we will speak about money as a tool for impact, wealth as a power of impact. Think about this. If you are broke and your friend is in the hospital and needs $5,000 for surgery, can you help them? You can give them love, you can give them prayers, but you cannot pay the hospital, right? But if you are wealthy, you can pay for the surgery. You can build a school, you can help your parents retire, you can support a clean water project in Africa. Wealth gives you the power to help. This is called impact. When you have the abundance mindset, you don't want money to buy 10 Ferraris for yourself. You want money to have a 10 times bigger impact on your family, your city, your world. Money is not the goal. Freedom and impact are the goals. And let's have a little class activity with you, the value circle and the purpose of wealth. I want you to think, if you had $1 million today and you've already bought a nice house and a car, what is one good thing that you would do for others, for the world? For example, would you start a scholarship for students? Would you help an animal shelter? Would you buy a house for your parents? Please write it down. I'm waiting for you to write. Please write it down. What would you do? And now look at your paper. Is money evil now? No. Money is the fuel for your kindness. To do great things, you need a great engine and a lot of fuel. Before the conclusion of this part, 3.1, we have key vocabulary for the boat. As you see, we have a few new words. Scarcity, it is when there is not enough of something. Abundance, it is having more than enough, plenty. Myth, a famous story that is actually false. Magnifier, something that makes a small thing look much bigger. Generous, I wish you all to be generous. Someone who likes to give and help others. Subconsciously, it is doing something without thinking about it. And impact, it is having a strong effect on someone or something. To conclude, stop apologizing for wanting to be wealthy. If you are a person with good values, becoming wealthy is your responsibility. In the next part, I'm in 3.2, we will talk about delayed gratification. This is the superpower of the rich mindset. We will learn how to wait for the second marshmallow. Let's go. Class. And now I want to give you a superpower. It is not flying or being invisible. It is a mental superpower called delayed gratification. In simple English, it means waiting for a bigger reward later instead of taking a small reward now. Most people in the world are now people. They want the chocolate now. They want the new phone now. They want the vacation now. But the wealthy are later people. They understand that if they wait and stay disciplined, the reward will be 10 times bigger. To understand this, we must look at a very famous experiment from Stanford University, the Marshmallow Test. Let me tell you about the Marshmallow Test story. In the 1960s, a professor named Walter Mischel did an experiment, an interesting experiment, with 4-year-old children. He put one child in a room with one marshmallow on a plate, and he said, I have to go for 15 minutes. If you eat the marshmallow now, that's okay. But if you wait until I come back after 15 minutes, I will give you 2 marshmallows. Some children ate the marshmallow immediately. Some tried to wait but failed. But some children closed their eyes, sang songs, or looked at the wall to wait. They got the 2 marshmallows. The shocking result was the professor followed these children for 40 years. 40 years. The children who waited became more successful adults. They had better grades, better health, and most importantly, much more money. Why? Because they had the software of waiting for the second marshmallow. But what if the marshmallow is in your bank account? Now let's talk about you guys. Because you are not 4 years old, but you face the marshmallow test every single day. As you see, the 5,000 bonus today and the new iPhone test for today. Let's talk about the 5,000 bonus today. You get a bonus at work. That $5,000 is your 1 marshmallow. You can spend it today on a new TV or on a new mobile phone. That's instant gratification. Or you can invest it. In 10 years, that $1,000 becomes $2,500, right? That is your 2 marshmallows, and that is delayed gratification. But what about the new iPhone? Your current phone works fine, but the new one is beautiful. The new phone is the marshmallow you want to eat now. If you wait 1 more year, you save that money, and that saved money is your second marshmallow. Financial freedom is just a series of successful marshmallow tests, guys. Every time you say no to a want today, you are saying yes to a much bigger need in the future. The rich are people who collected many second marshmallows. But what about practicing waiting? Can we do it? Are we able to practice waiting? Of course, yes. Actually, it is hard to wait, right? Our brains love dopamine, but you can train your brain, guys. Here are two simple rules for you. One of them is decision delay. The second is the future me vision. Firstly, we will talk about 72-hour rule. If you see something you want to buy, wait for 72 hours, for 3 days. After 3 days, the dopamine is gone. If you still think it is a need, buy it. But usually you will realize you don't even want it anymore. But what about the future me vision? Before you spend money, close your eyes. Imagine yourself in 65 years old. Is that older version of you happy that you bought this coffee? Or would they be happier if you saved that money for their comfort? So guys, don't steal from your future self to give to your current self. We will have another class activity, my marshmallow. Let's talk about your marshmallow, guys. I want you to be honest. What is your one marshmallow? What is the one thing you usually buy because you want it now? Is it fast food? Is it clothes? Is it video games? Pair of shoes? Write down what your 2 marshmallows would look like if you saved that money for 5 years. Write down, please. Maybe a trip to Europe? Maybe your first investment? Write it down and look at the difference. You will see everything with your own eyes, guys. Before the conclusion of the section 3.2, we have key vocabulary for the board. Delayed gratification, it is waiting for a better result in the future. Instant gratification is wanting satisfaction right now. To resist, it is to say no to a temptation or desire. But what about temptation? It is something that makes you want to do something. Usually something you shouldn't do. Experiment, a scientific test to learn something. Discipline, the ability to control yourself and your actions. To steal, it is to take something that doesn't belong to you. In this case, taking money from your future self for your present self is stealing. And let's conclude, guys. Remember, you are the boss of your brain. Don't let a marshmallow control your life. When you master the art of waiting, you master the art of wealth. And in the next section, 3.3, we will look at the final section of today's lecture. The investor versus the consumer. We will see how to start thinking like an owner of the world, not just a consumer. We've talked about mindset. We've talked about marshmallows. Now I want to show you the physical map of wealth. If you look at a middle-class person and a wealthy person, they use their money in 2 completely different ways. It is like 2 different roads. One road leads to a financial dead end, and the other road leads to freedom. To understand this, we must master 2 professional words: assets and liabilities. Let's use the simplest definition in the world from Robert Kiyosaki. An asset, something that puts money in your pocket. For example, a rental house, a business, stocks that pay dividends, a book you wrote that sells. A liability, it is something that takes money out of your pocket. For example, a car loan, credit card debt, a big house with high taxes, expensive subscriptions, and so on. Here is the trap. Most people in the middle class buy liabilities, but they think they are buying assets. They buy a big expensive car and say, "This is my asset." No, it is not. Every month you pay for gas, insurance, and repairs. The car is eating your money. It is not an asset, it is a liability. A wealthy person buys the car after their assets pay for it. Let's look at how money moves. This is called cash flow. We have 2 patterns, the middle class pattern and the wealthy pattern. The middle class pattern, they get their salary, income, immediately they use it to buy liabilities, a better car, a bigger TV, a new sofa, and so on. These liabilities create more expenses. At the end of the month, their money is gone. They are income rich. Look, income rich, but asset poor. But the wealthy pattern, they get their salary, income, immediately they buy assets. For example, they buy stocks, small business, gold, and these assets then create more income. They use this new income to buy their luxury things. The wealthy live by this rule: assets first, luxuries last. The rule is very simple, guys. Assets first, luxuries last. The middle class lives by luxuries first, assets maybe never. Let's have a little discussion. What does asset first living look like in 2026? It means when you get $1,000, you don't ask, what can I buy at the mall? You ask, how much of this $1,000 can I use to buy an asset that will pay me $5 every month for the rest of my life? If you buy $500 stock today that pays you a small dividend, you have a money soldier working for you. But if you buy a $500 jacket, you have a piece of clothes that becomes old in 6 months. The goal is to build a forest of assets. So you want to build a forest of assets. One day the fruit from that forest will be so much that you will never need to work again. This is the definition of financial freedom we talked about in the beginning. You don't live on your salary. You live on the fruit of your assets. And of course, a class activity. Label your life activity. I want you to look at your life. Draw 2 columns. Assets and liabilities. List 3 things you own. For example, is your mobile phone an asset or liability? Write down, please. Where did you write it? It's liability because it costs money every month. Is your savings account an asset or a liability? Write down, please. Of course, it earns a little interest, so this is an asset. Is your car an asset or a liability? Write down, please. Usually, car is not an asset because you drive it, it can cost a lot of money. Now look at your list, guys. If you want to be free, you must make the asset list longer and the liability list shorter. Which one item can you move or delete today? Think of it. Before the conclusion of the section 3.3, let's look at the key vocabulary for the both. Asset, it is something that earns you money. Liability, something that costs you money. Dividends, they are profits that a company shares with its owners, stockholders. Cash flow, it is the movement of money in and out of your life. To invest, it is to buy an asset to make a profit. Dead end, a road that goes nowhere. Pattern, repeated way in which something happens. And let's conclude the last section of this module, guys. To finish our lecture, wealth is not about how much you earn. It's about how many assets you own. From today, I want you to have a new habit. Every time you are at a shop, ask, am I buying an asset or a liability? If you choose assets, you are choosing freedom. If you choose liabilities, you are choosing a golden cage. Golden cage. Maybe it's golden, but it's a cage. This is the last section of our part 3. Next week, we will start part 4, systems of financial growth, and we will talk about 4 pillars: income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. We will talk about inflation and the silent tax, and the power of compounding. Bye for now, guys. See you next Sunday.